The Broncos defeated the Texans in a game that was way too close for comfort. I am surprised at how bad Russell Wilson looks. I thought he would get right after last game, which was obviously going to be emotional going back to Seattle. And the fans were all up in his ears, just screaming their heads off, the 12th man up there in Seattle. And I thought, they'll be at home, they'll get right. They've got talent. They've got a running back who seems to just get chunks of yardage every time he touches the ball, but we've decided we're not going to use him at the goal line in Javonte Williams. This play here where Russell Wilson ended up getting this ball batted, and this is a screenshot of it here, with Javonte Williams in the middle of the end zone. Like, I was screaming at my television. One, because
look how wide open he is.
Yes.
There is, as Ben Solak from the Ringer says, one of my favorite NFL analysts. You guys should follow him if you haven't already. He says Javonte is at least one end zone letter away from the closest defenders. Man, look at the two guys. Look at the two guys bookending him. And they are nowhere near him.
Russ was padding, looking over there, looking back there. I screamed at my TV, Javonte's open. Like, I was flipping out. One, because, might be some fantasy implications involved there, but like, it was just so obvious. Like, look at him right there. And he got the ball batted because he can't, like, his vision in the center of the field is way worse than I anticipated that it would be.
Like, where are his eyes there? That's the thing. It's like, and also, I'm not, of course, I don't know their playbook, so I'm not sure exactly what read that would be, but how is he not making that read? How is that not you see that and you instantly put the ball in that guy's hands? He's right there.
He's right there. And
he's in front of his face.
And was waving his arms back and forth. And so, I mean, it was like, they ended up winning this game, but I feel so grossed out by the Broncos and it's not just Russell Wilson's play, which has not been good. This sequence where the Broncos are down against the Texans by a field goal at home after getting embarrassed by the Seahawks. It's 9-6 late in the third quarter. This is how this game was going and how little offense from this offensive head coach and the let Russ cook Russell Wilson, who said, just let me out of Seattle and I'll tear the league up as long as you just let me run the offense. It's 9-6. It's late in the third quarter. Javonte Williams, as I mentioned, has been their best player on offense. They go for some like goofy run design play on 3rd and 1, and they lose yardage. Okay, it's 4th and 2. We're up in Denver. Elevation's good. Kicks are easier to make here. 4th and 2. Field goal. Let's tie the game. It takes Nathaniel Hackett so long to decide what he's going to do that they get a delay of game and it pushes them out of field goal range and they have to punt. Like, a reminder that Rob Walton bought the Broncos after Nathaniel Hackett was hired. That does not portend well for him. And if I were Walton, I don't know what I would say. I mean, they end up getting the win, but like, these game management decisions are just basic things. And he messed this up last week in Seattle. What was that on the field goal? He had another delay of game issue last week, right? What happened again?
Well, so if you'll remember, because they had the last minute kind of essentially 2-minute drill, and inexplicably it looked as if Russ should have just taken a timeout.
Yeah.
And they essentially burned 25 seconds of game clock to take, as well as play as well as the actual time in the quarter to like 20 seconds, only to take a timeout and then bring Brandon McManus on to take a 62-yard field goal, that 60-yarder he's never made in his career
in a hostile environment.
64, excuse me, 2 yards off the record set last year by Justin Tucker, who was by leaps and bounds essentially the greatest kicker of all time.
Yeah.
So then they missed it and lost the game.
I don't even understand what this guy's going. He needs some sort of like clock management person in his ear. He really does. But
and also, if you remember, I think I don't know if we talked about this already, Emma, from last week. Hackett literally went on record to the media a few days later saying it was the wrong choice.
Yeah.
That bringing McManus out.
But he didn't learn anything.
Yeah, clearly.
And paired with how Russell Wilson looks, this guy's supposed to be an offensive head coach, and
Aaron Rodgers guru from Green Bay.
Yeah, Rodgers speaks very highly of him. Again, this is just like also my Aaron Rodgers agenda. Aaron Rodgers made this offense look good, but no, that can't even be it, because Nathaniel Hackett took Blake Bortles to the AFC Championship game as his OC. There's something off with Russell Wilson's play right now, or maybe this is just who he is at this point in his career. We don't know yet. TBD. After he just got that massive contract, like, God, I'd be holding my breath if I were a Broncos fan. But I think it's a combo with that, and also like Hackett is unable to manage the game and the offense at the same time.
But the issue even beyond Hackett's coaching missteps, and also I must say too, a big problem beyond his own in-game coaching decisions and tactics is the fact that the team does not look disciplined either.
No.
Like they have one thing that I think people don't. I'm not saying people don't realize this, because I don't think it's that groundbreaking or anything like that, but as much as it can be frustrating to, this guy shouldn't have made a false start penalty, committed a neutral zone infraction, committed OPI, DPI. You know what that also reflects on? The coaching staff. And that starts at the top. If the team is not disciplined, if the team is not ready to mitigate the clear and present advantage that is just offsetting penalty yardage from stupid penalties, you're going to lose the game, or you're just going to look sloppy even if you do win the game like they did today, like they did on Sunday. It is as much a reflection on Nathaniel Hackett and that coaching staff that those guys are still making boneheaded penalties like that in week 2 as it is about the players themselves.